Alrighty boys, as I promised you, I'd bring you along on this journey. So what we're working on today is breaking in the engine, and it's a controversial topic, but here you go. This bad boy needs to get broken in, and I figured I'd share my way of doing it, because as promised, I'll take you guys along on the journey. And what we're doing and what we're going to be doing today is specifically conquering that, getting that, a vital part in my books done and over with. So the truck has under 100 miles. Dude, it feels so good. I'm settling in. This is all the junk from my old truck. So settling all my stuff in. My kiddo's gonna get the car seats in, and then we're gonna go off for a cruise. And it's gonna be a fairly I don't know, probably about 300-400 miles. So the point is, and the way I break in these engines is I take it fairly easy, I guess Dave's gonna educate himself and show you guys what he can play with here on the tablet screen looking thing. So as far as objectives and what I'm going for today is light load and not too heavy on the RPM. So here's my concern. There's three things. There's load, speed, and heat that I'm concerned with. The heat factor is a fairly extreme one. I mean, I'm talking like you bought this thing just off the deal. You hooked up some gigantic load, heavy, wide, tall, on a pickup, and you're just working the snot out of it. That's the part I would be concerned about, the heat. So what I'm concerned about is the crank heating up too much. The rod bearings being new. Guys, there's no science behind it. It's just my personal thing, so don't fall out of your chair blowing up. You guys want to know how I approach this and my train of thought? That's what the video is about. So here you go. So that's the heat aspect that I'm usually not concerned about. I don't think anyone will, well, not anyone. As I said, in extreme case scenario, they jump in the truck and haul something crazy wide and heavy. That's the only time you should be concerned about heat, because my concern is the rod bearings being tight, new, and it's just my thing. It's a long shot, so let's leave heat alone as far as the rod bearings. Now you got heat on the pistons, so that's why there goes the speed. I'm talking about speed because you don't want to overheat your piston rings, and this is a long shot as well. But this is a little bit more relevant in a day-to-day usage thing. You don't want to, keep the revs all the way. Pretty much redlining this thing. So the objective is more or less keep it under 2,000. If you go just a hair over, no big deal. Biggest part that I underline is load. You don't want to put a load on the engine, mediocre or high load. You want to put a little load. You want to change the revs up, When you're going down the interstate, you don't want to just sit in a cruise at 70 or 65 and just sit there at, let's just say, 1,500, if that's what it equates to for hours, You want to be going down the road, if you don't really want to change a whole lot on your speed, you could at least change your gears. You could do 6th, 5th. Now, if you're going to 4th, you're probably going to have to slow down, keeping it under 2 or whatever. That's plus or minus very vital up to about 200-300 pounds, but the main objective here within the 500 miles, you want to accomplish that. Now after 500, right about 500, you want to go to mediocre load, mediocre speed. I do apologize for my kids. They're kids. I love my kids, so sorry if they're a little loud, but just I was going out, they're like, Dad, what are you doing? I'm like, I want to go settle on my truck. They're like, hey, we want to go cruise. I'm like, I was going to ask you guys if you want to do that. Like, hey, let's go visit Grandma and Grandpa. All right, let's go get settled in and visit Grandma and Grandpa. That's pretty much more or less what we're doing today. So they're super excited. She got her cell phone. He got I call it the tablet control panel. But anyway, so let's stay focused to what we're trying to accomplish here. Back to the 500. You want to give mediocre. I wouldn't change a whole lot on the RPM. I wouldn't give it like full, but I'd keep it 22, 25-ish. Now, not every single time, but every chance, nearly every other chance I had, I would take it put a good load on it. You guys know what I'm talking about. These trucks, they don't downshift that quick, so you give it a, mediocre throttle so it goes under a load. That's the ballpark of 500 to 700 range, okay? After 700 and as I'm working towards my 1,000, those are some heavier runs. If I'll see an uphill, I'll let her have it. I'll watch my temperature gauge as well. Now I'm not worried about overheating the engine as far as coolant go. Watch your oil. I think only one truck you could tell, like, it's a big telltale sign if you're empty and your oil's heating up real quick. You know that. And once again, guys, I am talking extreme case scenarios here. That's my main objective. Objective about my concerns. That's extreme case scenario. A quick little rundown up to 500 ballpark. So 0 to right about 500. Well, to make it simpler, let's just say 400 mediocre. And then once you're crossing about 400 or 500, start working into your 0 to 400 or 500 easy. 400 or 500 to about 700, you want to do mediocre, and then from there to 1,000, you do want to give it a good run. You want to give it some good throttle before you hook up. A guy like me, I never know really when I'm gonna hook up to a trailer what I need to do and where I need to go. So that's how I break in my trucks. That's how I prepare them, and more or less, that's how I always do it. I've only skipped one truck. I didn't regret it, but I definitely see the results. Now, once again, extreme case, you guys are curious how I do it. That's how I do it. I feel like it's very important, especially when you're buying these trucks, to work them, to break them in right. And then when you do hook up a trailer, take it easy, man. Take it easy the first 10,000. I'm not saying climb a hill at 20, but if you see that the truck is working fairly hard, try to avoid that situation by slowing down, gearing down a little bit. Going from 5th to 4th or 4th to 3rd, giving it a little bit easier run up the hill. 10,000 miles, and after that, it'll still continue breaking in, but you're not gonna be able to. After that, there's really not a whole lot you could do or hurt these trucks really. Alrighty, boys. I believe I covered my process of breaking it in. That's the objective for today. And as always, y'all have a mighty fine day, and may the Lord bless you. Bye.